45-23. All right. Okay. I'm just kidding. We talked about that last time, but really, honestly, it never gets old. But hey, it's December and there's still football to be played for some teams who get to play in championship games. Michigan, back-to-back years in the Big Ten championship game, once again finds themselves facing off against an opponent that they did not see during the regular season with the Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue finished the season with an 8-4 record and are on a 3-game winning streak. Their last Big Ten championship came in 2000 when they actually tied with two other conference teams, Northwestern and Michigan. This will be the first time that Purdue has reached the Big Ten championship game since it was first instituted. And speaking of firsts, this will be the first time since 2012 that an unranked team has made it to the championship game for the Big Ten. Now, the reason that happened in 2012 was because both Ohio State and Penn State had postseason bans. So that made room for the third-ranked team in that division, 7-5 Wisconsin, to make it to the championship game. But before we get into everything, can we talk about how weird this Purdue team is? Usually I try to find unique things on about what works for the team, what doesn't work, what's a trend showing why they've lost games, or what makes the difference when they can beat opponents. There is really no consistent factor here for Purdue, and they've been a streaky team this year. So they're not really explosive and dangerous, but they're just unpredictable and unusual. They are a pass-heavy team, but even in games when they struggle passing, they still win. Even in games where they pass a ton and they're successful, they still lose. So all over the place. Three main players for Purdue that you're going to be hearing about are their quarterback, O'Connell, their running back, Maccabee, and then their receiver, Jones. During the regular season, the Purdue offense was able to put up 41 touchdowns. Little perspective, the Michigan offense had 35 total rushing touchdowns. But doing a little bit of math, just under a third of Purdue's offensive touchdowns were receptions by Charlie Jones. Then if you look at all the other touchdowns, the other third is basically made up by the running backs. And then the last third are touchdown receptions to other players on the team not called Jones. So in losses, Jones is averaging half a touchdown per game. And in victories, Jones is averaging 1.25 touchdowns per game. An impressive trend for Jones is that when he's able to have more than one touchdown reception, so two or more, then Purdue is undefeated. They've had 5 games where Jones has had 10 or more receptions. 4 of those games were their 4 losses. I don't know. I don't get it. Some things that may point to trends that cause the Boilermakers to lose games is that in their 4 losses, 3 of those games, they had a negative turnover margin. Then also in those 4 losses, they were allowing their opponent to rush for over 145 yards per game. Psst. Michigan hasn't rushed for under 165 yards yet this season. So take that for what it's worth. Now, news did officially come out this week that Blake Corum is done for the season. He is going to need surgery, and he will not be playing in this weekend's game. Wishing him a speedy and healthy recovery. But as what we saw last week, the offense should do okay with Edwards and the backup running backs. Because of this amazing offensive line, they can make a lot of different running backs successful. Nothing taken away from Corum or Edwards, but is due to the amazing offensive line and the big men up front that I don't think the running backs will struggle too much this weekend. And how about J.J. McCarthy in that passing game?
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
We knew there was something more, but we didn't know that it was going to be that good against a team like Ohio State, and they just blew up last week. So I rather anticipate that they're going to be more active with the passing game once again this weekend. Because last week they just opened up the passing plays in the playbook and slapped Ohio State up and down the field. So why not do it again? So similar to last year and even last week, I think they're going to do more things on offense now since they've gone past Ohio State, probably going to have some new plays that we don't typically see. I don't really think it needs to be said, but I don't feel like Michigan is going to overlook Purdue. They take this game serious. It's a championship game. Even though Purdue has 4 losses, they got here and they're going to be facing off against Michigan. And so Michigan is going to go in looking just to win. They don't care who they're playing against. Now, don't overlook the fact that this is an unpredictable Purdue team. And 3 of their 4 losses were by an average of 6 points. But then there was their last loss, which was at home against Iowa, that they lost 24-3. Again, I don't get it, but it is what it is. But with all that being said, and the momentum that Michigan has after a huge, dominant obliteration of the Buckeyes in Columbus last week, I think they're going to go really strong into this game. So with a defense that is locking down and with an offense that can just wear down their opponent, give me a final score of Michigan 45, Purdue 10. All right, so here we go. If you're going to Indy, don't forget to wear your maize. And of course, we will catch you all on the flip side for our reaction video after everything is said and done. And until then, go blue.